So I would say these tires are good for probably 5,000 miles, at least for what I did with it. Handling was great, no problems at all with any of that. It all happened in about 12 days of riding, but I only had one day of rain, so I can't say exactly what they're like in the twisties in the rain or anything, but I never had any problems with them. That front tire makes a lot of noise, the back doesn't. They don't squirm on the road at all. They don't have that wandering feeling or anything. They hug the road well, and great tire. I bought more of them to use on a trip I'm doing to South America. So I think they're the best tire for what I'm using them for. Here we can see the tread on the tire. That's how deep it is at the deepest place near the center. You can check the side as well, and we'll check this throughout the test to see how they wear. You can see these, being brand new, still have the little nipple pieces on them here. So that's the tread pattern. It's supposed to last pretty well. We'll see what they do. I'm headed up to Canada, and it'll pretty much be road most all the way, maybe a little bit of off-road, but I want to see what the maximum amount of miles I can get on this is with being on the street. It is a radial tire as well. This is a brand new Michelin Anakee Wild tire. We will take a look and see what kind of wear we get on this. I currently have 575 miles on the bike. There's about 15 miles on these tires. You can see they're rather new, still have their little pieces on there. So we'll look here to get our wear pattern idea. Let's see where we're doing. I'll probably pretty much call the tire worn out when it reaches the bottom of this little groove here. So we'll see. You can see they're offset here, like a pattern of 4, and I think that just keeps repeating. But we'll get an idea and keep a look at those. And then you can see the side here as well. We'll see how they wear. Okay, I got 759 miles on the bike. That's about 180 miles on the tire. You can see where it is, that it's still got the nubs on it here, still got the line down the center, and so doing real good with that one. You can see the front tire here as well. It's still, even in the center area, got nubs on it, still got the line down the center. So about 180 miles, and looks like hardly any wear so far. I'm about ready to go on dirt. This has been street so far. Here we are in Canada with the Anakee Wild tire. It now has 1,104 miles on the odometer, minus the 575. I think puts it about 530 miles, somewhere right around there. So you can see what's going on now is that and this started happening right at about 450 miles, so 450 to 525 or 530 or so. The bar is worn off of the big one here, and then the smaller, these two on the side, have it down the center is worn off, and the sides still have a little bit. The sides here have them. The very sides still have their little nubs on them still. But I did about 100 miles of dirt yesterday. It kind of scuffed up the tire a little bit. You can see right there how it's a little bit roughened. It's not exactly smooth like it is here. That's from all the rocks and stuff, but it looks like that was mainly in the center. But yeah, so we're looking at about 450 miles. That's where it's at so far, and they've been performing great. Here's the Anakee Wild front tire at about 530 miles. At about, let's see, so here you can see it still has the little center knobs still on all of them. Still has it on the sides as well, but I think mainly they were on the center anyway. So we're looking to see about how many miles till that little center bar wears down, and we'll get an idea of how the wear will be on the tire. So, alright, bye-bye. Here we are again with the Anakee tires, with about 40 miles of off-road heavy gravel stuff. You can kind of see here where it's chunked out, the top, broken that top edge on the tire and re-roughed those up again so that those are rough, but took away part of the top edge. The trailing edge is still sharp on there, but that rock really chews the heck out of those tires. Not much on the side here at all. Still got nubs left on those, so that's expected that that part of the tire is the biggest part. So anyways, let's go look at the front too. Here's the front tire on the Anakee Wilds. You can see that the front edge is still pretty sharp on there too. So I guess that's because the front end's lighter. Still, once again, just running on that much of the tire. That one's still got a nub left on it too. So really just in the center hits. So, alright. Back to my Anakee tires. I think I'm somewhere around 1,500 miles right now. You can see on the edge here, just the edge of that one is left on there. These are worn down, but there's a little bit left on the edge of that one. And you can also see that front leading edge hasn't got worse, but there's still quite a bit of tire left on there. And you can see also, if you look here, the center is wearing more than the outer edge. This outer edge hasn't been hit much, but that center is wearing down quite a bit. I'm guessing the tire rides about only on that much of the road. You see the knobs are still on the edges of the tire here, but great traction. Mainly been on road, did a little bit of off-road as well today for probably 60 miles. No, well, that part was 60 miles, and then another probably another 70 miles on top of that. So about 130 miles of that today was dirt. But I'm real happy with the performance so far. Nothing that I noticed really on the pavement different than a street tire. But I haven't been on anything wet yet, but I have been on loose gravel and stuff, and they perform really well. I don't feel like I've lost any traction yet. Here's the front tire on the Anakee at about 1,500 miles. You can see there still got that first little rib in there, so they're still doing good. I'd say probably as usual, the front tire's about gonna last twice as long as the back. And like I was saying before, that front edge from even is still sharp, and the tire is not all dimply like the back one is from all that rock and everything that I've been riding on. So doing extremely well. Happy so far. We'll see how many miles we get. Okay, here we are, BC, looking at the tires. This is the type of road that typically been running on, but a lot of it has been, this is actually the dirt kind, a lot of it has been gravel on it, so a lot heavier gravel. And you see the tires, I got 2,250 miles on the odometer, take away the 575 we started off with. Looks like we're still doing really good on those tires. You can see they get softened up a little bit here, a little dimpled by the gravel and stuff. But looks like we're wearing good on there. So that's about 1,700 miles. I would hope that's at least halfway through. Maybe I'll get a little more. I should be doing more street here pretty soon, but the back tire seems to be doing pretty well. Let's check the front tire. See, the front tire here still has those first little ridges in there, so that's wearing extremely well. So real happy with that front tire. So that's doing good. It seems to be hooking up good in the gravel and everything. Don't seem to be having a problem with it. So that's where we are for now. Here I am with 2836 on the odometer, minus the 575. So about 2,200 miles on the tires. A fair amount of that off-road. You can see tread pattern on the bar there is still pretty good. It is wearing more in the center. and surface of the tires seem to be good. I have noticed some little pieces, like there's a little crack right there in the tire. I have noticed a few little pieces like that, like there's a cut mark, but that would be expected from the rocks that I've been on, so I don't see that as a major ordeal. These ones in here concern me because that can get to puncturing the tire, and I don't want that to happen. That looks like one there as well, but in general, very good. Rode through a storm last night, about an hour and a half, and then pouring down rain, some hail. No hail visible on the road, but it handled just like they were street tires. There's no thump thump thump, no kind of rolling the tire or anything like that, so I was really happy with that. Here's the front tire at about 2,200 miles. Still, the front little wear bars still aren't even through there yet. You can see where it's got some cuts on the tire from going over rocks and stuff, but other than that, that front tire is doing great. Did handle real well going on the wet pavement as well as on the gravel. Everything's fine. The only complaint about it is the front tire is extremely loud. Over about 50 degrees or 50 miles an hour, it gets kind of almost unbearable. You gotta have earplugs. Best to have the face shield down as well. So that's a real drawback from this tire, is that excessive amount of noise is just not good. You can see the little splits in the tire here. Not real happy about some of that going on there. But in general, I guess the tire's in pretty good shape. A little bit right there as well. That one there. So, I don't know. So the tire, we got 3412 in the odometer, which makes it about 2,900 miles. And you can see on the rear here, the fronts are looking great. The rear here, you can see where it's starting to wear on that little center nub there, where it's coming through there. The center one is actually doing pretty good still. They still have a fair amount, but the insides on those ones are wearing a little bit. The outside has quite a bit. Once again, it's that 1.5 inches or so right in the middle there where it seems to be riding the most. See, this one's wearing a little too, but that one's got it left on there still. So still doing pretty good. Still doing quite a bit of off-road. Mileage wise, I'm guessing about 1/4 of the miles that I'm doing are probably off-road, but you know, once again, time wise, it's probably more than half of my time is, well over half my time probably is off-road time. So these are the tires with just over 4,000 miles on them. I could have gone further, probably got 5,000 miles out of them, but I need to change them for a trip that I'm going on. I'd also be skeptical about going on gravel with sharp stones and stuff, because it may puncture the tire itself. Here you can see, I think that's a wear bar, I'm not sure, but there's the condition of the tire, so you can probably get 5,000 miles. I have cut away the tires so you can see it. You can see the steel cord here where the rim comes in for it. You can see how much is left on the tire itself, rubber in between there. If you were to get a rock in there, could that puncture it? I don't know, but you can see the wear on it as well. So that's what the cutaway of the tire actually looks like.